comfortable, that you feel comfortable with. So these questions are like, you're going to talk to your classmate about what your favorite food is, but you're not going to talk about your sex life with them.
So this is just to see, the last one that kind of shows the theory.
I'm sorry. You okay?
Oh, I would rather drink my milkshake than wear it, but I'm fine.
I'm sorry.
You look. Forget it.
Hey, look. I really am sorry.
Didn't we just do this?
I'll move, by the way. Let me buy you another shirt.
No thanks, I'm good.
Come on, I'm just practicing Southern hospitality.
Oh really? Is that what they call hitting on strangers now?
You know what? I have no interest in buying you a shirt.
Is that so?
I'm just over here so the other team can catch a breath.
Wow. Pushy and conceited.
Why don't you come watch?
I'll pass. Thank you.
So see how in the beginning he's like just trying to get her attention, and then through that he tries to like make it, I guess, less awkward. Oh my god. Okay. Tries to like make it less awkward by like saying like, oh, I'm just practicing like Southern hospitality. He's trying to like reveal parts of himself to like make her like him, but I mean it's not really working. She just wants nothing to do with it. So he's kind of feeling his layers, but she's saying, you know, like, stop.
So that kind of relates to the progression of intimacy. So there are 3 dimensions of intimacy, which is emotional, intellectual, and physical. And the dimensions are affected by both parties through verbal behaviors, which are the words we use. So what you talk about with someone, all the different topics, nonverbal behaviors, so your posture and facial expression. So if you're having a conversation with someone, if the topic starts to make you feel uncomfortable and you're not ready to reveal that to them, you probably will start crossing your arms, leaning back, like shutting down, stop talking. And so that kind of reveals that that's a dimension that they're not ready to get to in a layer of your relationship that they aren't ready to reveal. And then also environmentally oriented behaviors, so space between and physical objects in the area. And I think that also has to do with, in my opinion, like where you are, what situation you're talking in. Like if you meet in the classroom, you're not going to be like leaning towards each other and like leaning all over each other and talking, but like if you meet at a bar, it probably would be different. So it's like.
So say you're like at a party with someone or something and you don't really know them, they might approach you and say like, hi, I'm so-and-so, and you might like show like this face like get away from me, and that would be considered like a nonverbal, but maybe they don't know that, so then you start giving them the space, and that's environmental.
So relational trajectory is the idea that some relationships follow a predetermined path or trajectory based on the environment in which the relationship forms. So some relationships are organized and predictable in their development just because of where you guys met, what is like the preset nature of your relationship. So a boss and employee relationship is going to be a casual relationship with little self-disclosure and mostly breadth. So with your boss, you're probably not going to talk about all the personal problems that you're having in your relationship, but they'll probably know, your schedule every week, your favorite foods, what your least and favorite tasks are to work. They know a lot, but they don't know in depth about you. So a doctor and patient mainly concerned about health and specifics of the patient's health, so it's mostly depth about a few issues, and it's a preset that relationship is going to work like that. And then a husband and wife is obviously highly intimate, there's lots of self-disclosure, and there is breadth and depth, hopefully, to have a healthy relationship with each other.
Did any of you guys watch the last 50 Shades of Grey that was released? 50 Shades of Grey. A good scene to like show, I guess, the boss and employee relationship when her boss is like really trying to like disclose himself on her, and she feels like very uncomfortable because we like have this norm that like we're not supposed to have that relationship with our boss, so like you don't really want that, and then obviously like it's very uncomfortable in that scene, but it's not something like we're not gonna, you know, disclose ourselves to our boss in the way that we would disclose ourselves to like a relational partner.
So there are 4 assumptions of the social penetration theory. The first is that relationships progress from non-intimate to intimate. So intimacy is a continuum. All relations move along, and most relationships we have fall somewhere in the middle. So when you meet someone, that's very non-intimate when you're first having your first few interactions, and then as you get to know them, talk more about yourself, you decide if you want to move past this maybe midway. You know each other, you talk sometimes, you have a good friendship, or maybe you want to become close friends, and then when you're close friends, you realize that you have emotional feelings for each other, and then it progresses to a more intimate relationship, but it can also move backwards because it's unintimate. So if you break up, but you stay friends, which I don't know if you guys do. So relational development is generally systematic and predictable. So there's not precise steps of self-disclosure. It's obviously a natural conversation. Everyone self-discloses at a different rate depending on your cultural background, how you were raised, you know, the past relationships you've had. Everyone's previous experiences influence how they self-disclose. And then interpersonal relationships are natural and they lie at the heart of our humanness. I really like that. I thought that was cool. I just think that everybody needs someone else in their life and someone to rely on and lean on, and so I think that's a really important part of this theory, is just stressing the importance of interpersonal relationships. Relational development includes deep penetration and disillusion. So just as communication allows relationships to flow towards intimacy, it allows the opposite. Transgressions or violations of relational rules often lead to deep penetration and disillusion. So like I talked about before, when you go through a breakup, or maybe you get into a big fight with your friend, or even just friends from high school that you aren't close with anymore, it happens naturally, and it's part of all our interpersonal relationships. You know, like how many of you guys have friends from high school that you just don't talk to anymore at all? Yeah, it's natural. It happens to all of us. I have lots of friends who I don't talk to anymore just because they're different people than I am. And self-disclosure is at the core of all relational development. So self-disclosure is defined as the purposeful process of sharing personal information, and it shapes present and future relationships. So obviously, if you're not really sharing much with someone and they don't know much about you, besides maybe your first name and your favorite food, then you guys probably aren't the best of friends. So you need that disclosure in talking about yourself and talking about each other and things that are happening in your life to become closer and to have a close interpersonal friendship.
A good example is in the fall, like we have like a large friend group, and 2 of our friends like started dating. They didn't know each other before they came here, and they were like 3 weeks in, and they were like saying "I love you" on social media, and all of our friends were like, "Don't love each other. It's weird. Like, why are you doing that?" Like, I don't know. So like we see we ourselves, we make these assumptions that people like aren't supposed to disclose too much information, or you're not really supposed to disclose too little. So if they weren't like being like intimate with each other, I guess it'd be weird, but then they would be too intimate. So it's like social norms and how they play affect them, how we disclose ourselves.
So this is another example of
Self-talk.
social penetration.
Big Mike. Hey, my name's Leanne Tui. My kids go to Wingate. You said you were going to the gym? School gym's closed. Why were you going to the gym? Big Mike, why were you going to the gym?
Because it's warm.
Do you have any place to stay tonight? Don't you dare lie to me.
Seen that look many times. about to give away.
Come on. Come on. That's Jamie Room. Get inside. Come on.
How many of you guys have watched the movie already? I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, this movie is like the best example of social penetration. Like, Michael doesn't even talk to anyone at first, and then he like, as he begins to trust her and like notice that she actually cares for him, he really turns into like this whole different person, and he actually values their relationship. So. Okay, so there's 4 stages of social penetration. So there's orientation, exploratory and effective exchange, and stable exchange and so, the orientation stage, and this is where we reveal like small bits of information about ourselves. So there are comments made in a public area. How many of you like remember your freshman orientation? Anybody? Kind of. Okay. I just remember them asking like simple questions, like to just get like a conversation sparked. And then I remember I met my first friend here through that, and we were just looking at each other like, this is stupid. Like, I don't want to do this. So that's how we started a conversation, and we kind of say things for approval to get like people to feel comfortable with us. Okay, this is where personality starts to emerge. So maybe you're talking about the sorority on campus. So one girl, have you thought about joining a sorority? And the girl says, oh no, like I don't want to be bossed around, I don't want to organize events. Another girl says, well, they do a lot for the community, like I think it's gonna look good on my resume, like I'd like to join one. Like, I think they're really cool. So that's like revealing your personality, so I'm just saying like, do you want to just join a sorority? No, or avoiding the people